So, hello friends, this is CA Rajiv Khatlawala, author of How to Profit from Technical Analysis. And today I shall be discussing about the cryptocurrencies, the how to analyze cryptocurrencies based on the basic concepts and tools of technical analysis. And I shall be definitely giving you live practical examples, practical understanding of how to use the various tools available, and also how to analyze any cryptocurrency for that matter. In fact, I will be taking the cryptocurrency today. I'll be taking Bitcoin, that is BTC USD, and we will analyze that on the daily charts. So I presume if everyone is ready, we can definitely start the session, and I will just share the screen. And yes, now the screen is shared. So what you are observing on your on your screen is the chart of Bitcoin, that is BTC USD. Before I forget, let me just remind you that you should subscribe to my channel so that whenever this sort of an analysis I put up, you get an intimation of that, and you are able to benefit from that by learning about how to analyze the various securities. In fact, I will keep on changing the securities. So it could be today it is Bitcoin, it could be later on Litecoin or Ether or XRP, or it depends upon what you can also give me your feedback as to which specific cryptocurrency you want me to analyze. Uh, Secondly, I would like to also add here, friends, that I'm sure you have gone through my Udemy course. If not, I would urge you to go through the Udemy course, A Crypto Trader's Guide to Technical Analysis. And you can just search my name also, Rajiv Khatlawala, and you will be able to get that. It is a free course available, a detailed course, and I'm sure you will like the course. If you have already done the course, I presume that you have gone through the entire course, because there are almost nine topics, nine chapters of different topics. So, if you have not gone through all the course, all the nine chapters, I would urge you to do the same, and that will complete your basic evaluation of any cryptocurrency, and it will help you in understanding how to initiate a trade, how to analyze what is happening in a particular currency right now. So I will be trying to do the same thing. It is like this session is a summarized session of what have been discussed in my Udemy course. So those of you who have done the course, gone through all the nine chapters, I'm sure you will definitely relate to the full analysis. If you have not done so, I would urge you to, after going through this analysis, please do go through the various chapters, so that you can expand your understanding. So now, before analyzing any currency or any security for that matter, the first and foremost thing which any technical analyst or any person who is using the price charts to analyze the price movement, what he will do is to, first of all, he will try to understand the trend of the particular currency. So Bitcoin, as we can see, the broader trend is up. I'm just compressing the chart so that you can see the long term price charts here. So as you can observe, last entire 1 year, there has been a very interesting rally in Bitcoin. But of course, the rally has not been one way. There has been in between lot many times we have seen corrections. So this sort of correction we have already seen. Then there is a rise again. Again there is a correction, a rise, a correction, and so on. So any the underlying trend of Bitcoin is uptrend. Why? The technical definition of an uptrend is the price must make a higher high formation, and a higher low formation. So as you can just see here, the Bitcoin has been making higher high formations. So initially it made a high here, thereafter the second high was made here. Again there was another high which was made at this point, and the recent high which it made was around 63,000, sorry, 64,374. So point number one, the first condition of an underlying trend is uptrend is it should, the price must make higher highs. And the second condition is also important. It is it is an additional condition, and that is that it must make not only higher highs, but whenever there is a correction in the market, whenever there is a correction, the prices must also make higher lows. So what I'm right now marking is the higher lows. So of course this last thing I will not yet mark that because it is still ongoing, so I'll just delete that. So yes, so what we have seen here is that one, two, and the third, the most recent correction, took the Bitcoin after touching a high of around 61,468. There was a correction, and the Bitcoin it fell to almost 50,874. It did not break the previous low, and therefore it made a higher low formation, and that is why the trend is still up. After this correction, it again made a new high, which is 64,374. Now, right now, this last candle which you are seeing is the current day, that is today, 19th of April, in the morning. So this is the last this current day candle. So the overall structure, therefore, point number one is the underlying structure is positive. So any currency you are analyzing, first of all, check what is the underlying currency, whether it is satisfying these two conditions or not. To get a more detailed understanding, I would request you to go to my Udemy course. It gives you an entire chapter about how to identify trends and also how to identify trend reversals. So this is the first part. So undercurrent is the underlying trend is positive. That is, it is in an uptrend because it is making a higher high and a higher low formation. Now let us try to understand how do we draw trend lines. Now, those of you who have gone through my course on Udemy, you would be knowing this, that in case of an uptrend, when we join the higher lows, that is the correct trend line to draw, and that is called a support line. So let us, on this particular chart, let us try to draw the various trend lines. Now what I will do is, right now, this last candle, this is the current candle here. So I'm just going back in time and checking the recent intermediate lows which the currency has made. So I can draw one trend line from by joining this particular low of 43,380 and joining with the subsequent low of around 50,874. So this is one trend line which I could have drawn, and let me just put it as a little darker line so that it is visible. And yes, so this is the one trend line which I can draw, but of course I have only taken the last two intermediate lows. I have ignored the earlier ones, so I must consider them also. So what I will now also do is I will go back further in time and also draw one more trend line by joining the two intermediate lows again. So now I have joined point A here and point B here, and now I have extended this. So therefore, I have drawn effectively two trend lines. Now this trend line which I have just drawn, I will just thicken that trend line because it is called a major trend line, because it is joining the lows from the point where the majority of the trend, the upward movement, the uptrend, the majority of the uptrend started from this point, which was at around 17,700, approximately 18,000. From there, the major move started, and that is why the this trend line will be called a major trend line. And this trend line, which I have drawn by joining two recent lows, that is, 43,000 and 50,000. This is called a minor trend line, and that is why the line is thin, just as a visual confirmation for us to look at, that okay, this is a thin line, so it is a minor support line or a minor trend line, and this is a thicker line, so it is a major support line or a trend line. Now, what do we observe in case of Bitcoin right now? So yesterday there was a huge correction in Bitcoin. It made a high of around 60,000, and it fell and closed at around 56,000. Before that, it touched a low of around 54,416. So there was a quite a big fall or a correction, and this trend line, this minor trend line, was pierced, was broken yesterday, and that is, a sign of caution for the traders, for the people who are holding the bitcoins, that Bitcoin is losing some sheen. So it is in a corrective mode now again. And today, as you can observe, when the prices started in the morning 56,173, they rebounded nearer to 57,360, which is more or less near to the trend line value, which is at around 57,800. So yes, this trend lines, they will act as support and resistances both. And in my trend line section in on Udemy, I have indicated this, that trend lines, once they are broken, they will act as a counter trade. So if it is a support line, as in this case, if it is broken, then subsequently it will act as a resistance. So yes, so today and tomorrow we may see some resistance near to 57,800, 58,000. And this since this one trend line, the thin trend line is broken, the minor trend line is broken, there is a possibility, therefore, that it opens up a possibility of testing the major trend line, which is right now placed at around 52,000. Now, of course, the 52,000 level is not only useful, it is a good target for, because it is a major trend line, but it is also very much near to the 51,000 level, which is the previous low. So please remember that the overall trend of Bitcoin will remain positive till the time the previous low is not broken. So I've just drawn I'll just color this differently. I have drawn one horizontal line, which is approximately at 51,000. Now, therefore, 51,000 is a very important support for Bitcoin. So in the coming days, the Bitcoin is expected to get support at somewhere between 52,000 and 51,000, because these are two very important support areas. In case that is broken, then we will evaluate this again after some days. In case that is broken, we will reevaluate what is the likely movement in the subsequent days. But right now, as we stand on 19th of April, we see that 52,000 to 51,000 good support area, and very shorter term, we can say the resistance area right now is at around 58,000. So this is how we will evaluate the basic trend. We'll understand the basic trend, and by drawing the trend lines, we will try to understand where the support and where the resistance is. This we can do for any stock. Now, on my Udemy course, I have already explained this, that this is the basic analysis. Now, how do we understand whether a particular stock or a particular currency has gone in a buy or a sell mode? So for that, what we will do is we will add some tools, and tools are moving averages. So very popular, very common tool, and I normally use moving average exponential. So even in my Udemy course, I have used moving average exponential. So I'll just click once and twice. So I'm clicking here twice, and now I will adjust the moving average, which usually I follow. You can follow any set of moving averages, but this is something which I have been following. You can change the number of days, the length of the moving average, not a problem. I am taking 5 as the shorter term moving average, and I am taking 21 as the, sorry, I'm taking 21 as the medium term moving average, and I'll just color it red so that it is identifiable. We can identify it as separate from the 5 moving average. So this 5, now what you're seeing on the screen is apart from the candlestick charts, you are also seeing the 5 moving average. This is the blue line, which is trailing the prices, and you are also seeing the red line, which is trailing the prices again. This is the 21 days moving average. Now, how do we evaluate the any particular currency, whether it is in a buying mode or a selling mode? So the most easiest part would be to first check whether the 5 days moving average is above the 21 days or not. So let us say when we were here somewhere, we were. I'll just hide this. Okay, so when we were nearer to uh, 3rd of February, around 37,000. The 5 days moving average was above the 21 days moving average. That is, the blue line was above the red line here, and therefore it was a buy signal. And that signal, that condition, that the 5 moving average remains above the 21 moving average remains. That condition was more or less, it was true for the entire journey till date. In fact, here you did get one indication of the 5 moving average getting lower than the 21 days, and that was at the 51,000. But based on the filtering technique which I have explained in my Udemy course, one would not have sold or exited the bitcoins, and they would still be holding on to it. So right now, let us see what is the structure. So as of right now, as of today, the 5 moving average and the 21 moving average are very much close to each other, and there might be a possibility, though we do not know right now, but there might be a possibility that it may go below the 5 moving average, may go below the 21 moving average on a closing basis. That is. Now, I'm not, even though right now, if you see the figures on your left hand side, if you see the figures, the 5 moving average is at 58,715. Your 21 days moving average is at 58,878. So, of course, 5 moving average is already below, but since the current day is still on, 19th of April is still on, the closing of the day has not happened, and we are analyzing all these things on the daily chart. So it is important for us that we let the market close, and then we will reevaluate whether this particular currency is going in a sell mode or not. Till that time, we will assume that the signal is still deciding. It is not a confirmed signal on a sell side. Now, therefore, in the coming days, so one thing is very sure, that based on two things. One is the trend line, which is this minor trend line which we had drawn. The trend line, minor trend line, was broken yesterday. That is on 18th. It was broken, and that was the first caution for us that Bitcoin may be still going in a correction. And also today there is a possibility emerging that the 5 days moving average would go below the 21 days moving average. Now, historically, we have seen this to work well. Of course, it is not a foolproof method. Nothing is foolproof per se 100% in price analysis, but it is a fairly good guide about what is going to happen, what is likely to happen. And once the trend changes on the downside, then you know what to do. That broadly, if the trend starts developing on the negative side, then upward movements will only be temporary, and you can trade on the upside only for some few some few gains. Major gains you may not get if the trend comes on the downside. So this is right now the structure of Bitcoin, and I'm sure this basic evaluation has helped you to understand the current structure. Please note, friends, that this is the daily chart, and it is not the intraday chart or the hourly chart or the 15-minute chart. This is the daily chart. Therefore, the view which we are taking is not for today or tomorrow. It is a view which we are taking for some few days or weeks, a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So for example, someone would have evaluated in a similar way when we were in February 2021 at 37,000 Bitcoin value. That value, it was at on starting of February, and that rally went on till 21st of February. It touched a high of 58,000. So that sort of an evaluation, whether this is a condition is of a buying or a selling mode, that is not only necessarily valid for 1 or 2 days, but it is valid for some few days or a few weeks. So when this is the daily chart, and therefore our time frame or time the time frame which we are taking is a few days or few weeks. If I change the time frame, instead of a daily chart, I go to the hourly chart or maybe 15-minute chart, then the entire evaluation will of course change. So in one of my subsequent videos, I will definitely address that issue, and how to do a multi time frame analysis. But right now, for the day, for this video, I think you have understood the overall structure of Bitcoin. And yes, if you have any specific comments, you should please you can give me your comments, your feedback below this video, and I will try to address them as much as possible. And yes, another thing is that I will keep posting such videos for the benefit of my students, especially students of the Udemy course who have taken my course. But this is true for everybody. So everybody can you can tell your friends also to see this analysis, and if they want, they can join my Udemy course also. It is a free course and quite a detailed one. Almost 9 chapters we have there. So in one of my subsequent sessions, what I will be doing is I will be analyzing a particular cryptocurrency. It could be Bitcoin, it could be Ether, it could be any other Bitcoin which you might suggest to me. What we can do is we can analyze using not only the moving averages and the trend lines, but we will also use the other tools which I have discussed in my course, and a very important tool, that is the MACD, that is moving average convergence divergence. So that is a very interesting tool, and in my subsequent videos, I intend to do that evaluation also. So do give me your feedback as to how you found this particular video. If you found it good, interesting, do share it with your friends. So thank you very much, friends, and I am sure you will benefit from this sort of an analysis, and see you in the subsequent videos. Thank you very much and have a very nice trading day. Thank you.